Hello everyone, today is Thursday, September 5th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Just recording a video showing an update of some of our charts, which I haven't shown in a few days. I do have another live trading video from Jim, that'll be in a separate video, but I just wanted to show a few charts from today. Pretty decent day today in the Autotrader. The first chart I wanted to show was this chart on the DAX on the Super 6 tick. And this is trading the U.S. Open, and I have the open range filter set to 9:30, the open of the U.S. session. And this is that kind of classic automated open range pattern, going long right after the open, filtered by the open range filtered, and not exiting on the precision trend exit. We have that disabled. The rule for step MA is basically the step MA has to be greater than it was 1 bar ago. And so this rode this trade all the way to its profit target, and just a really classic pattern that this is turning into, proving that the market above the open is often bullish and below the open is often bearish, even though this looks like it could be kind of sideways action. So there's really like two sessions in the DAX. There's the London session and then there's the US session, and if you plot volume on the chart, you'll see that the volume kind of comes back at this time for a little bit. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P Super 4 tick with the higher time frame filter, a 60-minute, and this did 437.50. Almost every chart in the E-mini S&P did really well today. I guess you could say this is another example of the open range pattern and the step MA filter, although the trade didn't get taken till a half hour after the open. Still kind of a valid concept. Probably didn't get filled here on our limit order at some point, or perhaps the look back to red bars was too short. And that's exactly what this reversal bar look back is. So when using the step MA, you might want to set it a little bit longer than you normally would. I think that's what happened here. I only had a look back of 5. And by the time we got filled, it was out of the range of the look back, where here it was not. So anyway, this also hit its goal of 500 on a single nice trade, and you can see quite a nice run off the open here, starting at around looks like 29.66 all the way up to 29.86, so a 20-point run right off the open. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P with the Super 8 tick as the higher time frame, and this is one of the few charts I'm showing still trading 2 contracts, so that's basically 375 a contract is what we're looking for. And this did hit its goal, I believe, with no slippage. Okay, another open range setup on the DAX 150 Heikin-Ashi chart, and here's our long entry here, and this was probably some rapid action entering on this push up. There was a little bit of a pullback here, but this is a limit order with an 8 tick pullback anyway, and you can see it pulled back much further than that, all the way to the volatility stop. Anyway, this hit its goal of 500 and had a couple tick slippage on this strong push to the upside. Okay, another chart that's trading 2 contracts is the E-mini S&P on a Super 6 tick with a this is actually not using the higher time frame filter. I don't have it enabled here, so it's just a straight Super 6 tick, and this hit its goal on this strong run at off the open pretty quickly, actually, in just a few minutes of trading. Okay, one of the best performing ES charts happens to be this 2 Renko with a higher time frame filter of Super 6, and this has a goal of 400. So on this run off the open had really strong positive slippage, and once again our kind of open range setup working effectively here on this trade. Okay, I'll do a more detailed update on the performance of the charts, but I just wanted to show the summary page here, and this is from inception. So looking at the crude oil, clearly the Superenco 8 tick, which has really been a solid performer, is in a drawdown. And as stated, I'm not going to remove the chart. It may just be a bad month here. I'm going to keep plotting this because it's done well for a very long time. So since inception, we're positive on the crude. Also, the Superenco 8 is the only one here trading 2 contracts. So if this was trading 1 contract, the drawdown would be half of this, and it would seem more in line with the other single contract templates. The DAX, not surprisingly, a very strong performance here, as you can see, and not to my surprise, but one might not expect, the 34 tick line break chart, the top performer here. The settings for line break are a little bit different than you might use on other charts, and 34 tick line break is a pretty small chart. So generally templates may work on another chart, but you still need to kind of put into perspective your settings based on your time frame and the size of the swings and the size of the bars and things of that nature. As we move over to look at the E-mini page here, pretty strong on the E-mini performance. So yeah, the E-mini S&P really strong. Almost every chart positive since inception, and most of these are a single contract with the exception of this chart and the Superenco 8. So I'm just going to change that real quick. And so yeah, the E-mini S&P, pretty safe bet. Do keep in mind that this is only about 5 or 6 weeks of performance that I've been tracking these charts. Once we get to, say, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, we'll have some really valuable data here. We may even be able to begin to gather data on what day of the week, say, the S&P is winning or losing, and include that in making a template or figuring out what the best days to trade are and things like that. The NASDAQ also showing good from inception here. And so yeah, the spreadsheet kind of helps seeing us what's happening, just trading 100% automated with no hands-on interference. Interestingly to note is that the way Jim is trading, using a little bit of market observation and going with a bias towards I want to be trading long, I think prices are going higher, or I think prices are going lower, I want to be a seller. And so you can keep it simple by observing the market and just observing whether the market is weak or strong and deciding if you want to be a buyer or a seller, and then looking at support and resistance and choosing the level that you want to be a buyer or a seller above or below. Our open range filter does a pretty good job of helping you with that, fully automated, and these results here kind of speak for themselves. Anyway, if you want to find out more about the Autotrader, if you're not a client, then please feel free to contact me, and be sure to check out the second video of Jim's live trading. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.